So today's symposium I'm very, very excited about. Actually, we've had this guest here to do this demonstration before, but that was actually when I was in those seats, and it blew my mind. It honestly changed, because you're about to get some really, really good information right now and learn about some cool technology and some amazing things. And I'm sorry, you probably think I sound like a broken record because I said this in the other classes, but you know, Stefon Harris is not only like one of the best vibraphonists I've ever heard in my life, but when I think of jazz education, I think of literally two people: the late great Barry Harris and Stefon Harris. Wow, I just put that together. You guys, the Harrises. Yeah. So please give a huge, huge round of applause to the great Stefon Harris.
We're going to talk about ear training today. So I'm going to start off just playing by ear. Okay, so this is behind me. I don't know what the chords are. I'm going to have to use my ear. You trust me? I don't. See how this C triad sounds good on every one of these chords? So if I sat, can you pause it just for 1 second? Give you a sense of what's happening. The C triad, and then the software is actually improvising a progression. I don't know what the software is going to do, but I put a bunch of chords in that all have a C triad on top. You can sit down. So if you think about this, if I have a C triad, and let's say I put an A in the bass, what's the name of that chord? That's A minor 7. So if I go like this, watch if I go do, mi, so, mi, do. But I put an A down here, and I put an A. Is this the mic? Oh no, it's this one. Even though the chord is labeled A minor, the actual center of that chord is still the triad that's on top. So I'm going to sing do as C. Do, mi, so, mi, do. Give me a second. Gotta be coordinated here. So watch. C triad. Do, mi, so, mi, do. If I put an A in the bass, but I still have a C triad on top, this is still do. Do, mi, so, mi, do. See how I'm right in the harmony? I could even add a color note to that, like a flat 6 like this. Do, mi, so, mi, do. Because what I'm playing on top is still a C triad. You hear it? I can go down to a chord like this. Still a C triad on top, so it's do, mi, do. I can do a chord like this, watch this. Do, mi, mi, do. Still a C triad on top. I can put a B flat. Do, mi, mi, do. See, I'm still playing a C triad, so my ear hears the center as C, always. I can play a chord like this, let's see. Do, mi, do, mi, do, mi, do, te, le, so, fa, mi, do, re, do, mi, mi, re, do, mi, mi, do. It's a trick that I call stationary melodic tonic. Meaning I can have all types of chords that are moving around, but I keep a C triad on top so that when we're learning to make melodies, we don't have to focus on the chord progression. We can just focus on understanding how to create tension and release. And the way that we do that in music is we start with the triad, and then one note at a time. You notice I started to get you to make interesting melodies by adding tension like this. We started with do, mi, do, re. Do, tension, release. But I'm just doing a triad. Do, mi, do. That's it. It's nothing fancy. Then I added fa. Watch. Do, mi, do, mi, fa, mi, do, so, fa, mi, do. Sounds like I'm doing something fancy, but I'm really not. Right? Do, mi, fa, mi, do. Hear that? It's one note. Then I can add la. I can add T. Do, mi, do, ti, la, so, mi, do, re, do, mi, do, so, le, mi, re, do. Hear that? It's all centered. So we're going to spend a couple of minutes just singing through some variations. We're going to have Harmony Cloud play some chord progressions, and we're going to sing some of these embellishments. Okay? So let's put that. No, go back to the other sheet, the sheet you just had up. By the way, this is Tyler. I'd be lost without Tyler. Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. So you notice that the notes, and by the way, we'll leave a PDF of all of this for the teachers here. If you want to, anybody who wants it, you can get a copy of it and have it for yourself. So you notice the whole notes are the notes of the C triad. Do, mi, so. So I have re, do, right? So the way that we want to think of that is as a word. We don't want to think of it as like a rhythm or anything like that. So say with me, do, 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 do. And then the next word is re, do. Re, do, re, do. Re, do, mi, so, do. Do, so, mi. Do, so, mi, re, do, re, do. Re, do, re, do, so. How hard is that? It's not hard. Come on. Next we have re, mi, do, re, mi, re, mi, re, mi. Re, mi, sol. We have fa mi, do. Do, mi, so, do. Do, mi, so, do, so, mi, fa, mi, do. You hear the melodies that are being formed? Do, mi, so, fa, mi, so, do, re, do. Ti, do, la, so, mi, do, fa, mi, re, do, mi, do, so. Le, so, la, so, ti, do, so. So, fa, mi, re, do. Re, do, re, do. Fa, mi, la, so, re, do, fa, mi, la, so. La, so, fa, mi, re, do. Do, mi, so, do. La, so, fa, mi, re, do. Right? Re, do, fa, mi, do. I said it wrong. Re, do, fa, mi, do. That's it. We're going to put a progression on. And we're going to sing some of these variations. Here we go. Re, do. Re, mi. Fa, mi. Fa, sol. La, sol. La, ti, do. Ti, la, sol. Ti, do. I promise you, I'm not doing anything at all. I'm not trying. I'm just going to improvise with those. Watch. I could put a progression together. So for example, I just borrowed chords from C major because we were learning the C major scale, right? What if I wanted to borrow chords from another mode? You know the mode C melodic major? Anybody know that mode? Or sometimes it's called F melodic minor. You've heard of that before? So C melodic major, it's like a C major scale, but instead of having an A and a B, we're going to add an A flat and a B flat. That's the only thing that's going to change. So now, I'm looking for which chords can I make. And these solfege syllables are do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do, te, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So I'm going to play these notes, and I'm going to see what chords I can make that have a C triad on top. So if I put a C triad on top, and I started with a C in the bass, I can add an A flat to it, and then it would be coming from this mode, right? Watch. If I just play this sounds like C major. If I add an A flat, it sounds like this. Now it sounds like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do, te, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. If I put a D on the bottom, I put a C triad on top. In order for something to come from this mode, I kind of need the A flat. Otherwise, you might think it's C major. So if I add an A flat to this, this is a crazy chord. It's called, I should keep using the mic, right? I'm sorry. That's a chord that's called a D minor 11, 9, flat 5. I've memorized lots of chord names. Okay, so that's another chord that I'm getting from this mode. How about if I go to a C triad and I put an E in the bass? If I add an A flat to this, or a G sharp, what kind of chord might I be forming? Couldn't be a major chord because it would need a D sharp to be a major chord. I have a C triad, I have an E, and I need the A flat or G sharp. There's a type of augmented, but I would also, this sounds like it could be a dominant, right? If I add the D to it, it becomes a dominant. Anybody know that chord? That's the Fernando chord. I gotta come back and do some ear training with you again. Close, E7, sharp 9, sharp 5. Very, very close, very close. Okay, so that sounds like this. Now remember, all of this is just a C triad. No matter when this chord happens, I can still go do, mi, sol, do, te, le, sol, fa, mi, sol, mi, do, re, mi, re, do. Right? Next, if I put a C here, I put an F in the bass, I need an A flat to be from this mode. Wow, now I'm getting another interesting color. This is called F minor major 9. But it's still do, mi, sol, do. If I go here and I add an A flat, wow, this is a G13 sus add flat 9. These crazy fancy chords. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. All right, if I play a C triad, do, mi, sol, do, and the next note in that scale is an A flat. If I put an A flat down here, check out this sound. This is really beautiful. It sounds like this. It's like I'm floating in outer space. I love this chord. C triad with just an A flat in the bass. Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do, mi, fa, sol, la, sol. Next, if I go up to the next note in that scale, it would be a B flat over C. Do, mi, sol, do, te, le, sol, fa, mi, do, sol, la, mi, re, do. You hear it? So what I'm going to do in Harmony Cloud is I'm going to enter those chords if I want to practice playing in that mode. So I'm going to go to the app here. I got a nice surprise for you today. I'm excited for you. So what I'm going to do up here on the right corner, there's a little note. When I tap that note, this is where I can make my own progressions. See? So there's a plus sign over here, so I'm going to hit a plus. Okay, let's give it a name. We'll just call it jazz. Right? So watch, there's a bunch of ways that I can enter chords. I could do it manually by hitting select chords. And see, I can just dial it in. What did we say? We wanted a C with a flat 6, right? So look, here's the C. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll up and see if there's a flat 6 in there. Look at that. Then I'm going to hit enter, add chord. Then we said we wanted a D minor 11, 9, flat 5. quiet and stop playing around. Oh, I see the numbers are getting higher. There it is, minor 11. I want a 9 and a flat 5. I hit enter. Pretty straight ahead, right? That's one way that I can do it. Another way is I can hit this chord map, which has about 700 chords in it. You can pick from any of these chords, and the algorithm is going to improvise a chord progression based on what you put in it, right? Let's get rid of this C. We don't want any triads. Not today. So you see, this is C major at first, so I'm going to scroll down till I get to the mode, because we said we wanted to work in another mode. There it is, C melodic major. So we have the C add flat 6, we have the D minor 11 9. Then we said we wanted an E7 sharp 9 sharp 5. Where you have, there you go, I see you. Are you hiding? Then we said we wanted an F minor major 9, there she is. Then we said we wanted a G13 sus flat 9. There's A flat major 7 sharp 5. And there was one more, B flat 13 sharp 11 9. So when I go back, I think I need to add 4. So when I go back to this main page, the app is going to improvise a progression based on that. I don't know what's coming next. That's B flat 13 sharp 11 9 only 3. That's E7 sharp 9 sharp 5. It's because I've memorized it. That's F minor major 9. Right? This is ear training, but I know what I put in. Right? That's G13 sus flat 9. Right? That's that B flat 13 sharp 11 9 only 3. So again, when I go back to improvise, it's the same thing. It's re, do, fa, mi, but instead of la, so it's le, so, fa, mi, so, mi, do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, mi, do, so, le, j, do, re, mi, fa, so, le. I wish the vibes could do that. Let's see, let me try it. So, fa, mi, do, te, le, so, fa, mi, do. So you see, using the app, I'm actually practicing the emotions of getting to know the feeling of every note. Whatever I choose to put in, I can. So the next thing that I could do is, let's say we just studied, I did this in advance, let's see. So let's expand jazz. So watch this, the first set of chords we did had C major chords, right? We had a C, okay, you can do C add 2, you can do C6, those all have a C triad on top. F major 9 would have a C triad on top. Where's it? G13, G3 sus 9 would have a C triad on top. So I'm going to mix these two things together. A minor 7, A minor, oh, that's a beautiful chord. So now when I go back and I play, I don't know if it's going to be playing from the major mode or from melodic major. I got to use my ear now. All right, I got to use my ear. See? I got to be able to hear what that chord is. Oh, that's C add flat 6. That's E7 sharp 9 sharp 5. Oh, that's A minor 7 add flat 6. Just to give you a chance to ask any questions, because that was kind of a lot. What I want you to understand, I should give you an example before I pause. So it seems like, okay, these are progressions that I'm putting together. It's the same concept when I play a standard, right? So if I were to pick a standard like, I don't know, Stella by Starlight. When I play on Stella by Starlight, the first thing that I have to understand is I have to understand what is the triad on top of every chord. So you might go. So I would think of this chord as like, it's like an E minor 7 flat 5, but it has a D triad on top. So when I play, I'm actually playing off of this D triad. Next chord, this is like an A7, but it has an E flat triad on top. So when I improvise based on the triad on top, always. So I could play on this song like this. Da da mi do mi so le so fa mi do. Even though the chord is E, what I'm singing is D. Triad on top is D. So fa mi time. Watch this. That's it. That was just 4 notes, right? You hear it? When I go to the next chord, watch this. That's just 4 notes. When I go to the next chord, watch this. When I go to the next chord. See, I'm only playing 4 notes per chord, but watch this. If I improvise with those 4 notes, watch the melody. I'm only playing 4 notes. So the way that I like to learn every song, every chord, I start with 4 notes, and then I have to earn my 5th note. If I can't play through a song with 4 notes and make beautiful melodies, what am I going to do with 5 notes? Then when I get 5, great. Then when I get to 6, then I get to 7, then I get to a bebop scale, then extended bebop scales, but you got to earn it first, 1 step at a time. Okay, I'll pause for a quick second. Questions, observations, yes?
How did you end up choosing vibraphone as your instrument?
So I played a bunch of instruments when I was a kid. So my family moved into, the question was, how did I end up choosing vibraphone? My family moved into an apartment, and there was an old beat-up piano that they left behind, and so I just was obsessed with it as a little kid. My brother could play a couple of songs, and my sister, and they would never teach me because I was the youngest. So everybody would go to bed, and I would go out and I would pick at it. And then there were a couple of books for kids in the bench. I was about 6 or so, and I took out those books, and I remember seeing like, oh, there's an arrow, there's these 2 black keys, and there's these 3 black keys, okay. And then the arrow is pointing to that white key below the 2 black keys, and it says C. And I went to the piano, and I was like, boom, that must be a C. And I just learned my notes little by little. So I taught myself to read music when I was very, very young. So when I started to go to elementary school, and I was a little more advanced because I could already read music, and I started didn't take lessons on piano, but I had the piano at home. So when in about 4th grade, they start to give you instruments. So what happened to me was, because I came in and I could read, I was more advanced than the other kids. So to keep me busy, they just kept giving me different instruments. So I played clarinet for a long time. I played flute. I played sousaphone in the marching band in high school because I was a wrestler. So I was like, I was a little guy and I was a wrestler. I was like, I got a match next week. Give me the biggest instrument you got. So in the marching band, I had a giant sousaphone. I played upright bass and string orchestra in middle school. I played bassoon for competition. I tried everything. I didn't say I was good at all. But the crazy thing is I played about 24 instruments when I was a kid. I was obsessed with music. I'm still obsessed with music. Every morning I get up, it's the first thing I do. Is go to my piano to learn and to grow. How did I end up with this instrument? I saw an orchestra on television. It was Christmas Eve. My mom was cooking, and we had a little black and white TV. It was a little box that was on the side in the kitchen, and this orchestra came on, and I was in about 7th grade, and there were all these like kids on TV, and they had bow ties on and suits, and they were playing, and there were like people dancing, and I was like, man, I want to be in that band. So the name Empire State Youth Orchestra came up on the screen, and literally, back in the day, I'm a little older, they had a thing called the phone book. It was this giant book that had all these numbers. I took the phone book, I was a little 7th grader, and I found the Empire State Youth Orchestra, and 2 weeks or so later, I called them. And I said, hey man, my name is Stefon, I want to be in your band. And they know it's called an orchestra, and they kind of laughed and said, kid, what do you play? I was like, what do you need? And so they said, okay, you can pick 2 instruments and come and audition for us. So I said, okay, I'm pretty good at clarinet, and I started playing this crazy thing called the marimba. Why don't I go do a percussion and a clarinet audition? So I got alternated on clarinet, and I got accepted as a percussionist, and that's the only reason I ended up playing this instrument. That's it. If I got in on clarinet, I'd probably be a clarinetist today. And you know what, the thing is, if I never touch that instrument again in my life, I'm okay with that. My love is for music. It doesn't matter. This is just a bunch of metal and wood. It's just a tool, right? It's a beautiful tool, but it's just a tool.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Yes, you had a question here.
So I heard like on some of your solos, you were singing while you were playing.
Mm-hmm.
So how does one ear train properly?
So that's a great question. You notice that when I'm soloing, I'm oftentimes singing.
And then the follow-up question was, how does one ear train properly? So what's really important in your development, you need good mentors, right? And you need to be around other students who are really serious. But even bigger than all that, you have to have a good sense of what brings you joy. You have to know what makes you excited. And you have to make sure you carve out some time to always have fun with music, to play music. So for me, I was a hyper kid. As you can't tell, I'm hyper now, right? I got a lot of energy. So for me, I always wanted music to feel like fun or like really exciting. Like I like the whole range of emotion. So ear training for me started off as a form of emotional expression. It wasn't about being able to hear intervals. I started off with the idea that if I can talk and feel comfortable speaking to you now, I should be able to play music like that. So I literally started practicing this. Don't talk about me. I literally was in the mirror when I started learning jazz in college. I was in the mirror and I would say something in English and then I would copy what I said in scat. Just like this, bu-du-da. So that everything I said, bu-du-da-da-da-da-da, I could change into music, bu-du-da, bu-du-da-da. You understand? Bu-du-la. Every day when we're talking bu-du-la-da-du-da-da, we're making music, ba-da-da-da-da. We have accents, we have ba-ba when we talk every day. We already have our own voices, bu-da-da-da-da, bu-du-ba-da. Right? So when I'm playing, it looks like I'm singing, but the main thing that I'm doing is I'm just talking. And there shouldn't be any difference between the way I'm talking, bu-du-la-da-du-da-da, and the way that I play, bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-da. Ha-da-da-da, ha-da-ha, dee-da-da, ha, ta-ta-da-dee-dee-dee-doo-boo-wee-ah-da-da, ha, see-do-ah-da-ah, ee-ah, sha-da-da-da-da-da-da, sha-da-do-dee-dee. If I play the blues, you-do-do-ah, ya-do-do, do-do-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, you-do-do-dee, you-do-do-dee, la-da-da, ha-dee-dee-da-do-do. That's what I'm doing. So I'm literally talking so that my rhythm comes across as language because the audience understands that. They don't care about triplets, sixteenths, they don't know anything about that, but they understand language. So I first started working on my ear to be able to hear phrasing. And then I started to work on chords, which is why I invented this app, which I'll get to in a second. One more question, then I'm going to show you a little bit more about the app. I feel bad. All right, so I'll start here. I'll do two. Start here. Do I teach an improv class? I do. So I'm the director of an institution in Newark called Express Newark. It's an incredible facility, and we give free classes. It's part of Rutgers University. So I do a free class every 2 weeks in the evening, and it has a lot of ear training, a lot of improvisation. It uses my system. But we also, every other week, have the Barry Harris classes. We have a gospel harmony class that happens every other Saturday. We also run a summer institute. So Express Newark in the city of Newark. We'll follow up with you. And then one more question that I guess.
So when you were turning towards us, you could just identify the chords and like it was just second nature. What was your process of like learning how to do that?
Great. You know what I did? I ate an elephant. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So I didn't start with 500 chords. You know what I did in terms of memorizing names? So there's about 14 dominant chords. That's it in Western harmony. I mean, you can do all types of poly, fancy. It's really only about 14. So I literally practiced the names of the 14. So if you take a major triad and you put it over C7, you get the chord C7. C triad over C7. If I take a D triad and I put it over C7, I get this chord that's called a 13 sharp 11 9. Look, I'm literally playing C, E, B flat. That's it. And in my right hand, I'm going to play a C triad. That's called C7. I know this is kind of a lot. Then I play the same thing, C, E, B flat. I'm going to play a D triad on top. Look at this. All I did was just change the triad. I got a whole other color. That's called C13 sharp 11 9. Next. Same thing in the left hand. I'll try an E flat triad. Oh, totally different feeling. That's called C7 sharp 9. Then I tried a G flat triad. Oh, that's C7 flat 9 flat 5. So there's 6 of them. You know what I did? I'm a little weird. You know what I did? I literally took flashcards, those little square things, and I wrote down the name of every chord, and I just practiced. I'm a little weird. I literally practiced this. C7, C13, sharp 11, C7, C13, sharp 11, 9, C7, sharp 9, C7, flat 9, flat 5, C7, sharp 9, sharp 5, C7, 13, flat 9. You want the alternate spellings with it too? C7, C13, sharp 11, 9, C7, sharp 9, C7, flat 9, flat 5, or C7, sharp 11, flat 9, C7, sharp 9, sharp 5, or C7, flat 13, sharp 9, C13, flat 9. That's it. Yeah, and I'll tell you, the cool thing about that is it has nothing to do with talent. It's not talent. I just practice. I could go over to the psychology department to someone who's never played an instrument, and I could give them those 6 flashcards, and in 2 days they would memorize it. So it's a matter of like, you get what you want. Like you asked me about ear training, I train my ear to do the things that I want to be able to do. There's a lot of things that I can't do in music, but I don't care. I'm hyper focused on what I need to do to sing my truth. All right, I'm gonna show you this app because I have a good surprise for you. So another answer to your question. So Harmony Cloud is an app that I've been working on for 10 years. 10 years I've been working on this. This is my baby. This is my life's work, okay? So Harmony Cloud basically I have a patented algorithm that I've created that can improvise chord progressions. You see it's really musical what's happening. It's almost like someone could sit at a keyboard. I sort of dump my brain into this thing. Any chord you choose. So we had a beta that was released a long time ago, and I waited to get feedback. One of the things that people said to me, they were like, well, can you help us figure out, like to your question, can you help us figure out how to learn from the beginning? So if you look, there are 3, it's hard to see. There's 4 icons. This one down here says play, and the idea behind this is you can put in whatever chord you want, and you should be able to just play by ear the way that I was. If you can't do that, this next icon says learn. So if you go here, I've put together over 277 lessons to help you learn how to hear, starting by ear. And the 277 lessons are only about 10% of what the app can do. But that took me about a year to figure out. I'm actually still working on it. Then practice, there's all types of exercises you can do. And on the stats page, it actually keeps track of what you're doing for over 2-3 years. It'll tell you how much you're practicing every day. It'll also tell you what keys you're practicing in. So if I look at my app and everything's in the key of C, then okay, that's why I don't sound very good in the key of E. So I'm gonna show you the learn page real fast. So if you're just getting started, you can start by clicking the C major at the top. And the first exercise, it's gonna be a C, F, and a G triad. So I'll start with a practice. So this is a bass note test. So either it's gonna be a C, a F, or a G. So I hit play. I'm going to do it out of time. Okay, it starts with a C, because we're in the key of C. When I go forward, is that an F or a G? You said it's F? You sure? Oh, it's a G. See, it's red. When I hit the right note, it shows up. F, very good. First skill. You need to be able to hear the bass note first. The second skill, is it here? Let's see. The second skill is that you want to be able to hear the melody note. This can be tricky, actually. Let's try this. Can you hear? So you know you got to first be able to hear the bass note. If you hear the bass note as C, you know that the melody note is either a C, E, or a G. What's the melody note? The note on top. C. Very good. Somebody said G. B, there you go. Oh, that's tough. What is it? It's Ray. That's right. Okay. Then there's other skills like you want to be able to, in order to get this answer, you got to play every note in the chord. Right? And then the other skill helps you learn how to play in all 12 keys, is thinking in Roman numerals instead of pitches. Is it a 1 chord, a 4 chord, or a 5 chord? I'll come right back to you in a second. So watch this. I've curated the path. That's 1, 4, 5. That's how you get started. Hearing that. Next, I'll add an A minor and a D minor to that palette. So now we don't know exactly which, it's going to be 5 chords. So I'll just do a quick run here. Well, this asks you, is it major or minor first? Right? So I'm going to keep going, just show you. Eventually it adds B diminished, D sus. Then the next section, it'll start adding chords like E augmented. But you see I'm building it one at a time. And if you're really fancy and you start making it all the way down this list, doing all these exercises, maybe you get to the point where you can hear chords from here. Woo! Who's brave? Who's brave? Let's see what this section sounds like. Let's start with chord quality. So you got to be able to know the chord symbol. No, let's do the chord symbol. I'm sorry. Watch this. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm going to get a whole bunch wrong. Watch. Wow, you got to be able to hear the difference. Is it a major 7 or a major 9? Is it a major 7? No. It's some kind of diminished. Is it a diminished 7? Diminished major 7? Everybody's saying half diminished, but that's not it. Diminished major 7? That's not it. It's not flat 13 either. Oh, that seems impossible, right? But this is about lesson 200. If you had walked through the lessons that I've curated, you'll be able to hear this. Ooh. Is it minor 9 or minor major 9? Minor major 9? Very good. No, it's not a 13 sharp 11 9. We tried that. Some kind of minor. Right? This is this one. So as you can see, the reason that I can hear these chords is because I went step by step, one at a time. Okay? I know I'm going to run out of time here. There was another question.
Is this app available to get now?
Okay, so here's the deal. 10 years of work. The only thing left to do, we're building out the subscription model and the technology now. I'm refining the lessons so that they're even more gradual. So I got another couple of weeks, and then it's going to be on the market. So probably early September, it'll be on the market. But you've all been so nice to me today. What I'm going to do, for those of you who have Apple devices, I'm going to give you the app now for free. So here's the thing. This is really important. This is what when you're developing technology, it's very different than making an album. When you make an album, you go in the studio, you do your best, you document it, and then the album comes out, and that's it. That's history. But with technology, you put something out, and then you want to hear back from people about what they think, so that you can then make adjustments, right? So I'm going to give you the app now before the app is released. And what I'm going to ask is eventually I'll send you a survey. I want you to fill out the survey so that I can know what you think, because there are a lot of things that people have asked for that I've added, right? So this will be, you're the last group that will have access to this, because it's literally about 4 weeks from now before I'll release it. Make sense? So Tyler can put up a barcode up here. Apple users, you can take out your phone and scan this code. It's pretty straight ahead. We'll leave it up on the board if you need to get it after. Okay, so that's the thing that I'm going to ask, is that I get some feedback. The price, I'm working on pricing right now. I think for me, I wish it could just be free, but I have a whole team that I have to pay. I got to pay engineers and marketing people, so I can't give it away for free. But I'm thinking about making it a subscription so it's not expensive, right? It's like you pay a little bit each month as opposed to me charging you a whole bunch of money up front. But it won't be too crazy. And actually, since you're all with Jazz House, I'm sure we probably could work something out, because we're family from this. It's in my heart, okay? So we probably have time for one last question. Okay. Yes.
What was that? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh yeah, that's the question. So what if I have an Android? I gotta tell you, development in technology is really expensive, and usually what most apps will do, they'll put it out on Apple first, and then it'll take probably 6 months for us to build an Android version. But within a year, we'll have a version for Android. Yeah, thank you, Apple. I'm sorry, hold on, I just want to make sure I can hear the question. Hold on, everyone. Almost there. So I would recommend, if you get the app, if you have you can get something cheap, a used phone for very little. I would recommend going through the learn section. Like you literally, like my son started on the very first one, and now he can hear. He can't hear all of it, but he's about halfway through, and he's 12 years old, and he can hear. But it's the first one he didn't hear as well, but he's being consistent. He's getting better. But for teachers and for other people, there's 1,000 ways that you could use this app. You know how I use this app? Is when I'm learning a song. What I'll do is I'll put the chords of the song into the app, and then the app will improvise the chords, but I don't know what order they're coming in. You understand? Can you, we'll put this back up, but I'm gonna give you an example of how I use the app. So watch this. Like I did an arrangement of a song, What a Wonderful World. So watch this. All right, let me go back. I'm going to show you this. This is how I use it. So instead of me just practicing the song What a Wonderful World at the piano on my own, of the chords when I sit at the piano and play. When I put those exact same chords in the harmony cloud, I don't know what's going to happen. So I hit play. See, now I have to, I think that's C add 4 probably. Is that right? Right, that's C over E. Add 2, right? See, I'm working on using my ear. There's no wrong note. So that's an example of how I use it. Also the practice scales. So I'll tell you this, I never practice in silence. I haven't practiced in silence in 20 years, meaning like you'll never hear me at a vibraphone practicing something. If I practice for 6 hours, there's always a chord in the background. Even if I'm working on my technique, Harmony Cloud will be playing chords so that every time I play a note, it's always in the context of a chord progression. So I think we're just about out of time. I want to thank you for being here. Can I ask one more favor? I want to ask one last thing. I'm gonna put on the video, and I just want you to say, I don't know, we love Harmony Cloud. You're getting it for free. You ready? Here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Thanks for having me. I'll see you soon.
All right, hold up, guys. We've got a couple of